Hey guys, and welcome back to another match reaction. Arsenal 2, PSV 2. We're through to the next round, people. Um, so yeah, it's a bit of a weird game, really. I mean, it was like we said on the preview. It was a bit of a free hit, to be honest. So I fully expected there to be changes to the team, which of course happened. But yeah, I mean, I still wasn't massively impressed with the performance, I've got to say. But the main thing is we're through. We're through now to play Real Madrid, who beat Atletico on penalties. That was crazy, by the way. That was just unbelievable. But we'll touch upon that in a bit. But yeah, so I guess ultimately, like I said, it's difficult to judge the performance because there were changes. We were 7-1 up. That being said, I still wanted to see more from us, but it is what it is. I guess we move on, as I say, to the next round, and that's what it's all about at this point. I mean, when the team lineup come out, I've got to say, fucking hell, man, this front three. I mean, what's that all about? What has it come to that we've got Kieran Tierney on the left, Mikel Merino at front, and Sterling on the right? I mean, seriously, what the fuck is that all about? I can't believe it's come to this. It's just embarrassing. Could you imagine if we go up to Madrid and play with that front three? It's just fucking frighteningly bad. Yeah, but that's the first thing that I took out of that. When I saw the team lineup, I thought, oh my god. I mean, I expected changes, but not that, not that at all. Zinchenko coming into midfield, that was a bit of an interesting one, should I say? And it's weird how he hasn't played that much. Considering Zinchenko plays midfield for his country and does a bloody good job there, to be honest. But for some reason, he's never really given him a chance at Arsenal in that position. Bearing in mind he's pretty shit at left back, so that's a bit of a weird one. But yeah, I guess I was happy with that selection because, like I said in the preview, we needed to chop and change. But of course, we're very limited in terms of what we can do because of the squad is so thin. Fully expected Kivior to come in, which is what he did, and White. So it's good to see Ben White back, albeit that clearly he is a bit rusty right now. And in terms of the game, I mean, let's face it, after 5 minutes, any kind of niggling doubt that we might have had that we could potentially concede 6 at home, which, was obviously never going to happen, but you never know. If they'd have got an early goal, it just would have been interesting to see what the reaction would have been. But it didn't happen. Within 5 minutes, a little piece of play by Sterling to release Zinchenko, who then, to be fair, he did it all. It was an absolutely brilliant finish. Shimming past a couple of players, and then just curled a beautiful shot into the corner. That was a fantastic start. And of course, that really then, if there was any doubt, which there wasn't really, that completely shut it all off at that point. Marino, what can I say about this guy? And I want to point it out now because I remember thinking this about 10 minutes into the game. He literally is running around like Forrest Gump. It's like, run, Mikel, run. He's just literally doesn't know where he's running to. He's trying to sort of put pressure on and, charge players down. But, when somebody's running around, like, he doesn't really know when to run, when not to press. Oh, my God. It was just so glaringly obvious that, he hadn't got a clue. It was just frightening. Absolutely frightening. But yet, he still continues to play. Every single game. The last few games, sorry. Clearly, it's working in Mikel Arteta's head, so we'll just go with it. Of course, then Perisic scored, former bloody Tottenham player, and it was a good finish, to be fair. But what is it that when you bring defenders in, and I appreciate they don't play all the time together, but they train all the time together. It's not like they're strangers, but you take one sort of cog out of that machine, that four, and it just seems like it throws everything out. So there was a few sort of gaping holes and splits between Lewis Skelly, Gabriel, Kivior on that particular goal. Like I say, it was a great finish by Perisic, but it was, we were just wide open at that point. And yeah, so they got the equaliser. We then, I think it was a 36th minute, wasn't it? Sterling got the ball on the right, and actually, believe it or not, he fucking took on his man. He actually took on two, and then did a fantastic cross. And Rice was there with a good header. But yeah, and 2 assists for Sterling. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought that he can actually get the ball, rather than go back, go forwards, take on a man, cross the ball, and look what can happen. Look what can happen, people. I mean, I say this because I was making notes yesterday, and when I before that goal happened, I was thinking, like, why is it that every time the ball seemed to go to Sterling, and this was before the goal, by the way, so every time the ball went to Sterling, he just seems to naturally kind of take it backwards. So he's looking back and he's playing it back to whether it be Ben White. He's not really taking it on the turn or going forward. And, I know that this is a trait within the team. The reason that I'm saying that, though, is because I don't remember Sterling doing this so much when he played for Chelsea, when he played for Man City. So it just seems to be, is this instilled by this manager to literally, rather than actually commit players and, go forward, it's just an inherent kind of, no, I'm going to protect the ball, I'm going to go back and I'm going to play it safe. I do think that comes from the manager, and it's a bit of a direction, and it's just, and like I say, he's clearly not the only one that does that, so it's just frustrating, man, when you want to see more, and, especially when there wasn't really a lot on the game, and like I said before, I want to see the handbrake taken off in these games. Why wouldn't you? There's nothing to lose. We were 7-1 up from the first leg, so, why the fuck wouldn't you? But I've got to say, so we were 2-1 going in, obviously, at half-time. And to be fair, in the second half, I think PSV were pretty good, probably better than us in many respects, and ended up scoring a brilliant goal as well. So they got the equaliser. But it was the substitutes that really got to me, people. Really, really pissed me off. I mean, so we're, 9-3 or whatever it was on aggregate. And I think it was the 79th minute, I want to say. Or it might have been the 69th minute when he first made the substitutions. But my God, he brings on Trossard. Just let that sink in, people. Leandro Trossard. Calafiori. Okay, that's fine. But the Trossard one, I'm thinking, what the fuck for? You've literally got Nathan Butler, I forget his surname, sorry, but the young striker on the bench. You've got Cabia on the bench as well. Surely, right, you're 9-3 up or whatever it is. Why would you not just put these kids on? What the fuck have you got to lose? What do we not know about Leandro Trossard? Like, we know he's shit. We know he's limited. We know he's a moody bastard. So why do you continue to put him on when it's just not needed? It was just the most pointless fucking substitution going. And actually, no, it wasn't. So 79 minutes, you've got Timber coming on. Martinelli coming on. And again, right, Martinelli, I get, because ultimately, he needs some minutes. He's coming back from injury. So yeah, give him, 10 minutes or whatever. That's absolutely fine. Understand that. But why the hell is he bringing on Timber, who's had an ACL injury all of last season, and you've been flogging him to death all season? He's played virtually most games. Does he need to come on at 9-3? And then you've got Erdegaard as well, who has been shit, but admittedly has had his injury problems this year as well. Again, why on earth are you bringing these players on? And it's just, I think Arteta's game management, with some of these substitutions, or squad management, should I say, it's got to be questionable. Really has got to be questioned because, we've seen the injuries we've had this year, and I'm mainly pointing to the likes of a Saka, where again he's been used in every competition going. I remember him coming on in the League Cup earlier this season as well. Pointless, absolutely pointless, and yet again, bringing on these players, God forbid, what if one of them would have got injured? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, I'd like to know what you think about that, guys. Perhaps I'm going over the top, but I just thought, what a fucking waste of time. What do we need to see in some of these players for, really? When you've got other kids on the bench, and why not utilise them? Because what is the point? I don't understand. What's the point in having these people on the bench just to fill the bench for the hell of it? For the atmosphere or whatever it is. I just don't get it. Don't get it. And yeah, the end of the game, Sterling gets a book in. That was a stupid fucking tackle. Like, I know overall he played well. Yeah, he had one of his better games. I wouldn't say he was amazing, but he tried. He did things that I haven't seen him do before in an Arsenal shirt. To be fair to him, I wish he'd have scored. Like, he had a chance towards the end. And what was interesting is I did like his link-ups with Ben White. I was seeing glimmers of like what we used to see with like Saka and White. It was just interesting with White being back on that side. I'm not saying that they were the same link-ups as Saka and all the rest of it, but it was noticeable that there was a few times they had a little link-up, and I thought, that's positive. That's really, really good. But yeah, I can see why he's eased him back into the fold, really, because he did look sluggish at times and off the pace. Nearly put somebody through in the first half as well. Gabriel saved him with a fantastic last minute tackle. So yeah, you can see why he's kind of playing it a bit safer with him. But it's either way anyway. It's great to have him back. But yeah, so Sterling gets booked, and he's going to miss the first leg. So that's a really, really stupid, unnecessary fucking booking. And you know what? Looking back, whilst I appreciate there was no intent there, he was so ridiculously kind of rash and over the ball that he's lucky that he didn't catch him, because I swear to God, if he'd have catched him, then he may have got red. He may have got red, and we've been looking at another sending off. But as it stands, that's a significant loss anyway for the first leg, because let's face it, if we're going to get anything out of the Real tie, that first leg is crucial. And now we're not going to have him for it. And he's one of the attacking options we've got. Albeit, hopefully, Martinelli will be back to full flow at that point. I doubt Saka will be. I doubt he'll be back for any time soon on that. But, we'll see. But yeah, so Real next. And like I said, I saw the penalty shootout last night, and it was just unbelievable. Could you imagine if that had happened to us? That VAR. What the fuck was all that all about? It was just, I don't know how they can conclusively say that he double touched that ball. I just think it was so bloody harsh, and I do feel for them. In terms of, from an Arsenal perspective, I'm honestly not fussed either way in terms of who we got, because, being real, they're both better than us anyway. So, but that being said, I am looking forward to the Real game. How can you not? I remember when we played them when Henry scored that great goal. It's that glamour tie, isn't it? The Bernabeu, it's just going to be amazing. So whatever happens, it's something to look forward to. And this is our last roll of the dice, isn't it? So let's just go for it. And then we move on to Chelsea on the weekend, and yeah, let's see what he does. I'll bring out a match preview for that one. Although, as I say, there's not really a lot to play for in the league right now, is there? So it'd be interesting to see what he does in terms of squad rotation for that game. But yeah, listen, we did what we wanted to do. We've got to the next round. That ultimately is the main thing. Thanks for being here, people. Make sure you like, subscribe. Please add your comments. Love to know what you guys think in terms of any of the content. Love to engage with you. So yeah, See you soon.